Peter entered his house, and just when he was about to take off his shoes, he heard his brother scream, "No, John, don't do it!" The next thing he heard was a gun shot. He rushed to the room upstairs. When he entered the room, he saw his brother and a gun on the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Mystery Theme Podcast session at PSTV Live. I'm your host, Moini, for the evening today. In fact, this mysterious evening today. And we are in for a lot of adventure, a lot of suspense, and definitely a lot of mystery. So, guys, if you're excited for this session, type excited quickly in the chat box right away. Come on, guys, I need this to start the session. All right, all right. So I'm getting a lot of excited in the chat box already, and I'm so glad that everybody is active and so many of you are actually here today. I'm so glad to see a full house. All right. Thank you guys for joining in and for being with us, like I said, in this mysterious evening today. All right. So now let's just dive right in. You and I, we are on this journey called Understanding the Art of Podcasting. Every day we discover and we delve a little deeper into the arena of podcasting, guys. All right. So before I start this amazing session, this mysterious session, this session wherein there's going to be a lot of adventure, a lot of mystery involved, let let us just have a look and see as to what's happening. So what's on the block, what's happening, whatever I planned for all my children out here. All right. So okay, so there's somebody who's joining in, has just mentioned what is it about. Okay, so this is basically a session on behalf of PSTV, and we are here talking about podcasting. Okay, and the theme this time for podcasting is basically a mystery theme podcast. That is what the session is all about, in case you have just joined in. So, all of you, please stay tuned to this session because it's going to be an adventurous, mysterious session, definitely. All right. So, as I mentioned, we will be starting with Break the Ice. Moving on to today's agenda, definitely. All right. And then again, the next thing is creating a mystery podcast. Like I've given it out, the theme is a mystery theme, and we're going to have loads of fun with that. Definitely, there is a fun activity involved. Planetspark and fun just go hand in hand, guys. All right. And again, 5 examples of mystery podcast. I will be giving it out for all of you who want to go ahead with a mystery podcast. All right. Again, a quick recap of the learnings before we end the session for today. And definitely fun things for homework, which is again an important aspect of our session because I've been receiving so many mails, so many responses, and such amazing responses that I've been astonished with. So I'm glad that my entire batch here is so dedicated. And you guys are so eager to learn so much. You're doing all that homework so diligently, and you guys are responding so well to everything. So thank you really to each one of you present here. And I am in the process of replying to all your mails. Definitely, you will receive a mail from me in case you haven't heard from me. All right. And of course, before I end the session for today, we will be discussing of what's next. So moving on, guys, it's time for break the ice. All right. So listen to these questions, and I want active participation, like always, from everybody. I want to see the comments in my comment section, guys. All right. So the first question for break the ice is, what is your favorite ride at a theme park? All right. So, what is your favorite ride at a theme park? I think I mentioned this earlier. I'm not a very adventurous person, so not the kinds who would go on a lot of rides and try new things in a theme park. But definitely, I think the toy train is something that I'm very relaxed in. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I get a lot of laugh emojis. Yes, definitely. That is my favorite ride at the theme park. Definitely. Okay. So roller coasters. I get a lot of roller coasters there. All right. Okay. And yes, I can see roller coasters. Definitely. I'm going to be showing a few comments. All right. Okay. Somebody says haunted mansion out here. Okay. Then there's Cinderella's castle. My God. Okay. Then there's a space mountain there. Okay. There's under the sea. There's Columbus. Oh my God. Columbus. That is a very scary one. Okay. Roller coasters are definitely scary. All right, then there's Scream. There's a ride called Scream. Oh my god. Okay, bumping cars. Yeah, bumping cars is good fun. Bumping cars is also good fun. I think I'll also enjoy that ride. All right. Then of course there's somebody like me who says toy train also. Then there's roller coasters. Again, maximum majority of you are for roller coasters, I believe. So everybody enjoys the adrenaline rush with roller coasters. Lovely guys. Thank you for those lovely responses. Moving ahead to the next question. Break the ice question number 2. Describe yourself in one word, guys. If I gave you an option, just one word to describe yourself. I think for me, everybody's thinking right now, all right, the one word doesn't click so soon. So it's okay. I'll give you your time to think and type in your answers. For me, it's definitely being empathetic. I feel I can very easily put myself in the other person's situation and understand things. So definitely empathetic will be one word that I'd really like to describe myself in. So now I'm getting sincere there. Wow, great. I know this batch is a sincere batch. All of you are really sincere with the homework, so I can see it's a dedicated and sincere batch. All right, then there's persistent. Wow, great. Genuine, passionate. You guys are passionate. Trust me, Saturday evenings, if you're attending this session with me, all of you are passionate about what you want to do in life and about your podcasting journey for sure, guys. Hands down on that one, Rahul. Okay, so straightforward, a good thing to be and much needed. All right. Okay, then intelligent, definitely. Generous, kind, says Anna. Kindness, definitely, Anna. Okay, affectionate. All of you are affectionate, lovely children out here, because the kind of responses that you give just make me so happy. So definitely optimistic. Okay, lovely. It's great to be optimistic. Then I get cheerful there. All right, I'm getting flexible, very important need of the hour to be flexible. Okay, in every aspect in life. Courageous, Noah, good one. Okay, energetic. This batch is full of energy. I know everybody's energetic, not just one of you. I think everybody's energetic here. All right, patient, definitely a virtue again. Okay, enthusiastic. Wow, such lovely responses from everybody. I'm glad to be seeing all these lovely words on my screen today. Definitely. Okay, where is your favorite vacation spot? So which is like your favorite vacation spot? We all have like a one favorite vacation spot. So mine has to be when I went to Amsterdam. I think it's a beautiful place. The canals, the canal ride. My God, I mean, I really wish I could just go there time and again. Of course, Switzerland also comes very close to that choice of mine. And I've always thought and wished that I could visit Paris. That's on my travel list, definitely, but I haven't been able to. But as of now, it's definitely Amsterdam and Switzerland for me. All right, so guys, I can see Maldives there, I can see Mauritius there, I can see Singapore, I can see Greece, I can see NZ, New Zealand. Then there's Australia there, the Austria there, Switzerland, okay, the Kashmir there, Goa is there. Okay. Then there's Bali is there. All right. Dubai is there. Okay. Maldives. All right. Wow. So a lot of my children here like the beach. Is it? I can see a lot of beach responses. Goa again comes up. All right. Lovely. Kerala is there. Lovely guys. Beautiful places. And looking at these places really makes me miss on my travel days. I should soon, maybe plan a travel sometime. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for responding so well. The next question: if you could eliminate one food so no one could ever eat it again, what food would you destroy? Okay. What food would you destroy if you could eliminate just one food, guys? Okay. That nobody would be able to eat it. So, what food will you destroy? Come on. All right. And Sahil says just one. Okay. So he probably wants to destroy more than one. Okay. All right. So I know there are a lot of foods that kids don't like. For me, it's going to be broccoli. If I was given an option, I'll destroy that food. so that nobody eats it. I know it's healthy, but I don't like it. I'm saying it this to all of you right here on PSTV Live. I don't like that food. All right. Okay. So somebody says papaya is okay, all right. Then there's some mushrooms that are popping up on my screen, all right. Olives, and there's eggplant. Okay, a lot of you don't like eggplant. Eggplant is coming every second or third response that I'm getting here. All right. Tomatoes. Okay. So Justin says he does not like tomatoes, is it? Okay. Sprouts. My God. All right. Okay. Pineapple pizza. Oh, I'd relate to that. I don't think, you should be having a pineapple pizza. Okay. Ginger. All right. Somebody doesn't like ginger here. Pickle. Noah doesn't like pickle. He says, okay. All right. Beans. All right, beans. No, somebody doesn't like beans. Then there's bitter gourd here. Okay, spinach. All right. So basically, I think I can see mostly all the green veggies on my screen at the moment. Okay, so there are a number of green vegetables. So I can understand, guys. It's okay, but once in a while, it's important to have these healthy things as well. All right. So thank you for such active responses, everybody. Moving ahead. If you could choose an age to remain forever, okay, forever, if I told you if you got to, get stuck to a certain age, which age would you choose? So come on, if you could choose an age to remain forever, which age would you choose, guys? Well, for me, I would definitely go back to the childhood days, hands down, hands down. Just go back to my school days. Okay, all right. And at the moment, I'm just living my childhood through the eyes of my 5-year-old. But definitely, if I could just go back and stick to an age, it would be that time. I think those are the best years. So everybody's typing in, and I am seeing a lot of responses here. Okay, all right. Sweet 16 says Fiona. Okay, then there's 34, there's 50, there's retire at 60. Okay, so somebody, Noah wants to retire at 60. He wants to just be at 60 and retire and enjoy his life. All right. Okay. 45. John says 45. So everybody wants to grow up. Okay. In this group, I'm just getting 30, 50, 45, 60. All right. And I'm not getting anything which is below, 15. All right. I've got 16. So everybody basically wants to grow up. Guys, that's how it is. When I was at your age, we all always, we just want to grow up very soon. And when you come in my age, you're going to realize this was the best time. All right. So please, it's a request from a grown up adult who's passed through your age. Enjoy and make the most of this time. Okay. This is the best time and it is not going to come back. Trust me. All right. We all want to grow up. We definitely want to grow up. And I hope that all of you grow up like really soon and become successful, guys. But till then, enjoy your journey. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for such amazing responses. Break the ice is always amazing, and it really, helps me sort of uplift my mood and uplift your mood, I believe, and just start the session with a bang, right, guys? Okay, and I see a lot of comments, a lot of likes, a lot of lovely lovely comments from everybody, all the love that I wish I could show all the comments, guys, but it's wonderful, wonderful. Please keep that coming. I can see them definitely. All right. So now the new theme alert, I've already given it out to all of you. It is the mystery theme podcast. Yes, guys, the mystery theme podcast. We are going to be discussing about how to create a mystery theme podcast in this session. And there is something extremely compelling about mysteries. Yeah. How many of us we love mystery novels, don't we? Yeah. All right. So, and can I get a yes or a thumbs up for all the mystery novels that we love and we read? We love mysteries, all of us, don't we? Okay, so I get thumbs up, hearts. All right, yes, and we love these novels, and that's the reason that these novels actually sell like hotcakes. All right, and mystery, guys, is engaging. Okay, is genuinely engaging to say the least, and that is the reason that we picked up this theme for the next week, which starts on Monday. We're going to be discussing this entire week, the next entire week, about the mystery theme podcast. All right. So before I start writing, I need to hear. Okay, so I'm already getting the loves and the smileys and the hearts and the eyes with the hearts already that has started for the mystery theme podcast, guys. I need to hear from each one of you in the comment section right away. Send me your emojis right now. Okay, all right. So a lot of responses. Thank you guys. Thank you. Keep them coming. Keep the energy going. Okay, so moving ahead. Let's see what do we have here. Just a second. Okay. So when you start to write a podcast script, you're going to be making a series of choices, guys. Okay. When you're writing a podcast script, there are going to be a number of choices in front of you, and we will be discussing about all these choices right away. The first choice: what kind of tools are you going to use to make your story? Okay, so what are your tools going to be like? Okay, every storyteller, every story writer has to have some tools in his or her bucket, right? In the toolbox, like we say. Okay, so what are your tools going to be like? Okay, how are you going to format it, the entire story? Okay, the final draft, are you going to be using maybe some of you are comfortable typing it, okay, typing the entire story when you want to go ahead and record it. Before that, some of you want to do a quick type in of the story on a word document, just anywhere on your laptops, okay, while some of you would like to have it handwritten. Okay, for me personally, writing something really works for me. Okay, so because I tend to remember it more, and it is very effective. So for me that has worked, but for some of you it might be just typing it out on Microsoft Word. Okay, so you need to make that choice, that what kind of tools are you going to use to make your story. All right, how are you going to format your story? The final draft, will you be using Microsoft Word, or will you be just writing your notes somewhere in a journal, in a diary, anywhere, and then go ahead and record it? Okay, so get that correct. The first choice is basically your tools. All right, moving ahead, the next choice: what sort of episodes and series structure would you like to use? Now, there has to be a structure to your episodes, to your series that you're putting forward, because this is the mystery theme podcast. There has to be a flow. Okay, what kind of story do you want to tell, and how do you want to break up that story for the listeners? All right, how will you break it up? You can't give away the entire story in one podcast, obviously. Okay, you have a limited number of time that you're talking, and you want your podcast to be popular. You want a number of episodes attached to your podcast, guys. Okay, so obviously, you have to decide that what kind of story you want to tell, and how do you want to break up that story. The breakup of the entire story has to be done in a proper manner. Okay, so that with every episode the audience also gets some insight, they also get something interesting to hear about, and yet they want to listen to the next episode. That suspense, that mystery is intact. All right, so an episode can be as long or as short as it needs to be to tell your story. I mentioned this in the earlier episodes also, that a podcast comes in all shapes and all sizes, guys. Okay, so your episodes can be as long or as short as you want, because you are going ahead with a story format, you are going ahead with a mystery theme podcast. So definitely keep your podcast, keep the episodes as long as or as short as you want to. Okay, so that you can effectively convey your story to the audiences. Okay, moving ahead. Thirdly, the third tool is basically you also get to choose how much planning you want to do ahead of time. Okay, all right, so now you also have to choose that how much planning do you want to do ahead of time. A lot of us, like I think I've said this earlier in my earlier episodes, that I'm somebody, if I had started, when I had started my podcasting journey, and when I had started going ahead and recording these, until date, if I want to go ahead, record a session, if I want to go ahead and do a podcast, if I want to talk, I always have a script in place. Okay, I have something in writing with me. I cannot go point blank and talk about something. I'm not the kind of people who's comfortable in that zone, and I know what works for me. I know that works for me. All right, so obviously, you also have that kind of a choice, whether you want to plan ahead of time, or you want to just go and dive right in and take the plunge with your podcast. Okay, so you can plot according to your own choices, or you can have a method in place, or you can just write by the seat of your pants, guys. Okay, so you can be a plotter or a pantster. All right, so now there are obviously a number of points that you have to focus on while you're writing your mystery podcast. Okay, so I will be discussing those points as well. And I hope everybody, please take a note of these points. These points are important in case you're going ahead with a mystery podcast. All right. The first point which is important is the dialogues involved. Okay, now it is so important to have dialogue, a good story, a good if you've read stories, if you've read books, a good story definitely has to have a proper amount of dialogues in it. Okay, and effective dialogues definitely. So it is so important to have dialogues that sound natural, guys. Don't have dialogues that really make no sense. Okay, just fancy words put together, because you have to be honest to your world. Okay, but again, if you're writing something contemporary, please be sure to make it natural sounding, because at the end of the day it is a dialogue. Okay, people don't talk in a certain manner. You have to let those dialogues come alive. All right, and listen carefully, active listening, guys. Okay, listen how people actually talk to each other. They don't use the fanciest of words when they're having a conversation, a regular conversation. They are saying dialogues in a very natural manner. Okay, and of course, when you put those dialogues forward, you have to follow that. You have to be honest enough, and you have to be really natural. Okay, if you try and put up something, if you try and put in a lot of other elements in the dialogue, the effect of the dialogue will go down. All right, so you can also develop your characters through dialogues in a way you can't in other mediums. All right, so definitely for the ones who've been attending my creative writing classes also, that when we start a story, when we start writing personal, when we write about narratives, when we write about stories, fictional, non-fictional, we always start with a certain number of hooks, and one of the hooks is a dialogue. Okay, a dialogue has to be as natural as possible. Okay, it has to sound honest, and definitely dialogues can go a long way in developing your characters. Okay, developing your characters in a way that no other medium can. All right, so guys, please include this in your mystery podcast, the dialogues. All right, so I hope this is clear to everybody. Please give me a quick thumbs up in the chat box, guys. All right, all right, okay, okay, all right. So I think everybody's almost got this correct, so I can move on. The next one is characters. Okay, develop characters through your dialogue. All right, your characters can be developed through dialogues. I mentioned, like, in no other medium. Okay, your characters have to be flawed, guys. Okay, don't make your characters perfect. Nobody's perfect. Your characters have to have some flaws in place. Every single character in your play needs to have a motive. Okay, all these characters that you're putting together in your story, in your podcast, in your mystery theme podcast, they have to have a motive. All right, and plot should be driven by the characters' motives. All right, so what are the characters' motives? Your entire plot should basically be driven by that, the characters' motives. So characters, I hope this is clear. All right, so I'm getting a yes, yes, yes. Okay, all right, lovely. Moving ahead, the plot. The plot is what your story is all about, your podcast is all about, the mystery theme is all about. Okay, you need obstacles for your characters to overcome. All right, a plot obviously cannot be like a plain plot, with no obstacles, no issues, no problems. Definitely it is not going to work for your audiences, it is not going to work for your story, guys. All right, so definitely have a plot wherein you have a lot of obstacles, and your characters are trying to overcome their challenges and obstacles. Okay, what happens is that when you add these little elements like the obstacles or challenges to your plot, it creates hooks to keep your audiences engaged. Okay, your audience, basically, like I say in creative writing, keep your reader reading. All right, if you have these elements in your plot, your listeners are going to continue listening. Okay, so keep your listeners listening, guys. All right, so maybe definitely, as far as the plot is concerned, you need to have obstacles for your characters that they're going to be overcoming. And of course, all these obstacles and these challenges that you have, it definitely creates little hooks to keep the audiences engaged. All right, so and I'm sure that all of you as podcasters want your audiences engaged and want your audiences to come back and listen to your podcast. So definitely, please be sure that you get the plot in place. Correct. Okay. Final tips: don't over design the sound. Now what happens is that during these mystery theme podcasts, we tend to, just to create the background and just to create the effect, we tend to have a lot of sounds in place also, because sounds work really well. Don't get me wrong, with sounds work really well as far as a mystery theme podcast is concerned. They create the right amount of suspense, the right amount of adventure, the right amount of mystery, suspicion that is required basically. But again, don't overdo it. I mentioned this time and again in my earlier episodes also, excess of anything will make your podcast fall flat. All right. So don't over design the sound. Silence, guys, again, is an effective tool also. Silence is a very effective tool when it comes to mystery. Of course, you can't go for a long span of silence, because then your audiences will feel that the podcast has ended, there's no more there. Okay, so don't go in for a silent break for so long. Don't give them that amount of silence in your podcast. But definitely some elements of silence is something that you can add, and it is an effective tool. Okay. And again, in sound design, I mentioned less is more, guys. Please don't overdo the sounds. It sounds very bad in a podcast. Okay, a podcast which is cluttered with a lot of sounds, please don't overdo it. All right, just for the sake of creating mystery, just for the sake of creating that suspicion, you can do it with your voice, you can do it with silence as well. Again, and like I always say, if you're following this theme or any theme, as far as podcasting is concerned, if you're going ahead with sports, if you're going ahead with movie reviews, if you're going ahead with climate change, all these themes that we have discussed in the past few weeks, please ask yourself, everybody here, how can you innovate? Okay, how can you innovate? Innovation is the key. You have to give your audiences something new, something that they want to hear, something that they have not heard previously. All right, and how can you do that? You can only do that through a lot of innovation, guys. Always brainstorm. Okay, think of it, think of different ways, write it down somewhere, do your plotting, planning, everything. All right, and think, how can you innovate, how can you add some more value, how can you make a difference? All right, what will make your podcast stand out? All right. Okay, so, and trust me, guys, with podcasting there is a lot of space for innovation and creativity. There is no end to the amount of innovation and creativity that you can add in your podcast. You just need to think, research well, and just go ahead and just put in your best basically. All right, so the final tips are definitely that please do not over design the sound. Silence is also an effective tool. Try and use it in your podcast. And again, ask yourself, how can I innovate, how can I get my something audiences something new, how can I tell them something new? All right. Okay, so I hope these tips are clear with everybody. If they are clear, type yes in the chat box right away, guys. Okay, all right. So I'm getting a lot of yes, yes, yes. So glad that everybody's clear with this bit. And now let us see, what do we have here? Yes, we have the fun activity. Come on, guys. Brace yourselves for the fun activity now, all right? Okay. So it's riddle time one more time at PSTV during this session. So the first riddle goes: I have branches but no fruit, trunk, or leaves. What am I? I'll go one more time with this. I have branches but no fruit, trunk, or leaves. What am I? All right, so I think everybody's thinking, because I can see a lot of people are typing, but there are no such responses at the moment. As usual, the riddles always take some time. Break the ice, everybody's very quick with, okay, very swift with break the ice, but the riddles, everybody's thinking. Yes, you need to think on the riddles a little bit, all right. Okay, somebody says, there's tree there. Tree, no, tree. What is the riddle? The riddle is that I have branches but no fruit, trunk, or leaves, guys. Okay, what am I? Tree definitely has branches, fruits, leaves, everything. Okay. Rope. Okay, let's see. The trees again coming in, the ropes coming in. All right, and I see a few of the right answers. And as usual, I'm not going to read it out because a few of you are still typing in. I can see that a few of you are still thinking. All right, all right, all right. And I think a lot of you have got this correct, which is good. And the answer is a bank, guys. Yes, it is a bank. Basically, uh, Branches, but no fruit, no trunk, no leaves. All right, it is a bank. Yes, and I get the grin emojis back in my comments section. All right, lovely. Okay, so the next riddle. David's parents have three sons: Snap, Crackle. And what's the name of the third son? So come on, tell me. David's parents have three sons: Snap, Crackle. And what is the name of the third son, guys? Come on, tell me. What is the name of the third son now? So the two sons who are Snap and Crackle. What is the name of the third son? So everybody is thinking again because the think emoji is back in my chat box. All right. Okay. So I'm getting Rapple. Okay. Okay. Rapple. Okay. That rhymes with Crackle. All right. That is the reason. All right. No. Then there's Rap there. Rap. Okay. Hack there. All right. Knackle is also there. Okay, a few of you have given me the right answers also. All right, but everybody's still typing in. I can see that. Okay, all right. So now I'll give it to you. The correct answer is David, guys. Yes, it is David, of course. Why am I getting the shock emojis? I'll just go back and read it one more time. Okay. David's parents have three sons: Snap, Crackle. What's the name of the third son? It's obviously David. Yes, and I'm getting the laugh emojis in my chat box now. All right. So this was simple, guys. Okay. All right. The next riddle. What has a thumb and four fingers but is not a hand? So, what has a thumb and four fingers but is not a hand? I've asked this riddle in one of my sessions. So if you remember, okay, all right, all right. So I'm quickly getting the answers because a lot of you were there in my previous sessions also, and you remember. Good, good, guys. You all have a good memory, and especially with riddles, it is a glove. I'm getting a lot of gloves, gloves, gloves on my screen. So yes, it is a glove. Okay, moving on. Let's see the next one. A word I know, six letters it contains. Remove one letter and 12 remains. What is it? Okay, so I'll go one more time with this. A word I know, six letters it contains. Remove one letter and 12 remains. What is it? Any guesses, guys? Any guesses? Come on. Come on. No, I'm just getting question marks for this one. Why is it so? Everybody is still thinking. Everybody is still thinking. So I'm getting a lot of question marks for this riddle, huh? Lot of question marks. Okay, all right, all right. So let's see the correct answer. A few have got this right. Okay, and the answer is dozens. Yes, it is dozens, guys. Okay, all right. I'll go back to this one. A word I know, six letters it contains. Remove one letter and 12 remains. What is it? It is dozens. Okay, that's the correct answer. Very few of you got this right, huh? Okay. Moving ahead to the next riddle. You see me once in June, twice in November, and not at all in May. What am I? So you see me once in June, twice in November, and not at all in May. What am I, guys? Come on. Think emoji is back. The confused emoji is back, and everybody's still thinking, okay? And I get my first correct answer popping up on the screen. So glad, okay? You guys are researching on the riddles, huh? I feel you all are researching. This was a very quick answer, huh, Noah? Okay, all right. So okay, okay, all right. I have started to receive the correct answers and I'll give this one to you. It's the letter E, guys. Yes, it is the letter E. It is not heat, it is not sunlight. Okay, it is the letter E. Okay, let me just go back. You see me once in June, twice in November, and not at all in May. What am I? The letter E. All right. So, guys, did you have fun with the riddles? Come on, tell me in the chat box. Just type yes in the chat box quickly. Okay, all right. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, guys. Moving ahead to the next one. Now, like I mentioned at the start of the episode, that I will be sharing some examples of great, mystery podcasts that are definitely spooky enough. And you should go and listen to these podcasts, guys. You should definitely go and listen to these podcasts, all right? So the first one is 6 minutes. Okay, it's called 6 minutes. This podcast, basically, it's about a girl with special abilities. She begins to question her entire life. Okay, are her parents really her parents? Why can she do the things she does? And why was she floating in Alaskan waters with absolutely no memory? Okay, 6 minutes from Gen Z Media basically addresses just that, guys. Okay, it's a full cast show, and so it's more like an old school radio show, like an audio book or a weekly podcast, and it's perfect for kids age 7 to 12. So a lot of you can definitely tune into this and get some interesting ideas and details about another mystery themed podcast. Okay, 6 minutes, that's the name. So remember that. Moving on to the next one. Origins Unknown. Okay, this is another mystery theme based podcast, and it is available exclusively on Pinna. And Origins Unknown is basically it's all about the town of Cooper Heights and our young protagonist Max. Okay, it's a young protagonist Max who's the lead here. And why are the townspeople getting mysterious packages? Who is sending them? What do they mean? Okay, so all these questions: why are these town people getting mysterious packages? Who is sending them? What do they mean? And it's definitely for ages 8 and up, because it gets a bit complicated at times. All right, so for all those who are 8 and up, you should definitely go and see Origins, sorry, see, I'm saying, it's go and hear Origins Unknown. All right, it's more like a mystery journey. It's very, very engaging, definitely. All right. The next is The Ghost of Jessica Majors. All right. So, fair warning for this one. It gets off to a sad start. Okay. But the main character is named Luke here. And while his mother is remarrying after his father's death, he hangs out in the cemetery talking to his father's grave, basically. And at one point of time, he trips over Jessica Major's grave. And well, things get weird after that. So it is also available on Pin, and I'm not going to tell you or open this up for you that what happens and what gets weird. You have to go and check this out on your own, guys. All right. So another lovely mystery based podcast. The next one, The Unexplainable Disappearance of Mars Patel. Okay, this Peabody Award winning podcast. It's a fabulous podcast, guys. It's one of the originals for kids, and definitely one of the best, hands down. Okay, with several seasons already produced. It's got a number of seasons already in place. Okay, and it is one of the most popular podcasts available. You can easily download it on Pinna, and of course, which Pinna is basically, if I've not mentioned this earlier, it is an audio subscription service exclusively for kids. Okay, and you can also listen to this podcast on YouTube, definitely. And the story of this podcast is that it follows Mas Patel as and when he searches for his friend who has seemingly disappeared from the world without a trace. Okay, so the theme is very interesting. It's about his interesting journey, and you should definitely go and tune into this podcast as well. All right, the next one, Opal Watson Private Eye. Okay, so now this podcast more like if Nancy Drew was cooler, more modern, and in audio format. You just have Opal Watson Private Eye. Okay, so it is more like a cooler, modern, and an audio format of Nancy Drew. And definitely it is available on Pinna, and it's extremely entertaining. Kids 7 and up will for sure love this. Okay, so you should go and tune into this one as well. These are all mystery podcasts that we've searched on, and we're putting it forward for you so that you can go and get an insight into the kind of mystery podcasts that are around us. It's definitely great to draw inspiration, and definitely for good fun and for a good and engaging time out, you can go and check out these podcasts. All right. Okay. A to Z Mystery Club, Club. All right. This one follows Dink as he explores happenings around the town in the classic one and done format, and it's been popularized by comic books and television. They are an easy, quick listen, and that everybody, mostly it's very popular among kids. A lot of kids love these, and it's also available on Pinna and definitely suitable for kids of all age. So you should go and check this out. All right. I think a lot of you must have checked out a number of these. Yes, I can, because I can see a lot of thumbs up during the podcast. So already a few of you have already tuned into these podcasts and heard them. In case you haven't, you should check out these podcasts. All right. Okay, guys. So I think we've discussed quite a bit today, and we've come to almost the close of the session. So a quick recap is whatever we did today. Firstly, we started with how to make a mystery podcast, and before that, I went ahead and introduced the mystery theme, which we are going to be following for the next week. And of course, I gave out 5 examples that are going to help you in making your own podcast, guys. Okay. And now, coming to the homework before I end my session today, you're going to be doing this weekend is that you will try and make a mystery podcast based on your own, basically. Okay, for whatever we've discussed in this session, in accordance to that, you can try and make a mystery podcast, guys. Okay, and definitely fetch some help from the amazing 5 examples that I've mentioned to you. Okay, it'll definitely help you understand better about the mystery podcast. How do you go about a mystery podcast? What is that you need to say in a mystery podcast? So all these things. Okay. And is this homework doable, guys? Can I get a thumbs up from all of you? Come on, quickly in the chat box right away. Okay, yes, yes, thumbs up, thumbs up. All right. And before I end the session for today, definitely what's next? What are we going to be discussing next? What's next is research and development, guys. Okay, so we will be discussing about research and development in context to our mystery theme podcast. All right, guys. So I think that's all from my end for today. It's the Sundays right around the corner, so have a good Sunday. Relax yourselves, and definitely do think about these mystery podcasts. Do tune in to a few of the podcasts that we've just discussed. Have a great Sunday, and I'll see you guys in my next session. Till then, take care. Bye bye.